Hey, this is A-Rod with OGEconomics.com. Today is February 16th, 2023. I wanted to do a video on CBDCs. And for those of you that are not aware of what a CBDC is, it stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. And the reason behind, or the reason why the government wants to implement a CBDC is simply for taxes. It is considered electronic money, and so therefore what they're trying to do is get rid of cash. And as you know, if you've gone into your bank and tried to get, let's say $9,000, oftentimes we hear people tell us that they were only able to get a couple $1,000s, and then they had to come back maybe another couple days or a week down the road when the bank has the cash. And they can't, the people can't quite understand why the banks don't have the cash. And the reason is because the government cannot trace where the cash is spent, and therefore the government believes that they're missing out on much needed tax revenue. And so as everybody's figuring out, if you haven't already, the world financial system is collapsing. And the government is trying to implement the central bank digital currency because they believe that they will be able to then track where all the money goes to and collect the appropriate amount of tax because they now know where all the money is being spent. So they want the money to be traceable, unlike cash, which is not traceable. Now, as an example, what was just recently done a few months back in Congress is they passed a law saying that if you use Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, if you send someone more than $600 a month or receive more than $600 a month, then they want to know where the money was sent to or where it was received so that the IRS can look into who received the money to determine whether or not they have claimed that as income. And so that just tells you to the extent the government is moving to try to remove cash from being from being allowed to continue. Now, I'm saying Venmo and Zelle and Cash App. You're sending digital dollars, but then the money can then be redeemed for cash. And so that's really what the purpose behind this is about, is so that they can track the electronic money rather than just having cash available. And so I mentioned in a video previously that the CBDCs were going to be programmable money. And what I meant by that is very similar to what you experience on, let's say, TikTok or Instagram or Twitter, any of the social media apps. You have the ability to block someone from being able to contact you. You won't see their post. They won't see your post. And so that is because there's a code in the app that gives you the ability to block someone. The CBDCs, the Federal Reserve, or let's just say the government, will have the ability to block you from buying certain items. So if they don't agree with you buying, let's say, a gas-fueled truck, then they can shut off your ability to do that because they would rather you go green and buy an electric vehicle. That's what programmable money is the ability for the app that you're using to restrict you from doing certain things. And the systems are already been implemented in China. China has what's called a credit scoring system. And what that means is that in order for a person to go on a train, a plane, go into a grocery store, they have to have an app on their phone with a QR code. And before they can enter that location, they scan the QR code to see if they're approved to be able to go into this place. And if they're not approved, they're not going to be able to go in there. And there are certain items that they can't buy if the government does not want them to be able to buy that. And so that's what programmable money is. Now, I'm going to attach a video here. It's only 30 seconds long. It's from the Bank of International Settlements. And this is the head of the BIS. And he's going to tell you straightforwardly that the money is programmable and it's completely controllable by the government. So take a look at this video real quick and then come back and we'll talk about some other issues.
The key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also we will have the technology to enforce that. Those two issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is.
All right, so you can see he's plainly telling you exactly what I'm saying, is that it's completely in the control of the government to let you spend money where they believe you should be spending your money. And if they don't believe you should spend the money there, they're going to cut you off from it. Now, the reason they're doing this, again, is because the financial system's collapsing. And I'm not just talking about the US, I'm talking about worldwide. And so there's going to have to be a new system implemented. And the government believes that this new CBDC is their best option. Now, what they're going to try to do is coerce everyone into using this. And what I mean by coerce is they're going to, like what they're doing right now is they're panicking to try to get rid of any lifeboat that you could possibly have. As an example, Bitcoin, Ethereum, any type of cryptocurrency, they are clamping down right now to prevent people from being able to shift their money away from a central bank digital currency into, as an example, Bitcoin, where you'll be able to send money to anybody within seconds. And there is no restrictions on who you can send money to. So the governments are panicking and trying to regulate out the ability for you to be able to use another option for your money other than the CBDC. So again, they're trying to coerce people into doing it. Now, they haven't started to implement it yet. It's been in trials and they've been testing it, but it's coming before the end of the year. They're going to try to implement this. Now, I say the word coercion. It's very similar to when this situation was happening. You know, they were trying to get everybody to take it. They were offering chicken McNuggets and they were offering money, cash money. You know, they were trying to coerce everybody into doing it. Now, in terms of the CBDC, they're going to try to do the same thing. However, part of coercion may mean they collapse the stock market. Banks you're not able to get cash from banks anymore. They're going to try to coerce us in some fashion. I don't really know what that fashion is, but you can expect coercion to be part of it. And I don't believe that they're going to be able to implement this. And the reason I don't believe that they can implement it is because in order for anybody to use a certain instrument, as in this case, a CBDC, in order for you to be able to use a CBDC, you're going to need to have confidence in the government, right? Because If you don't have any confidence in the government, you're not going to use it. And so that's why I say that I don't believe that this is going to be successful, because as we speak, confidence in the government is being lost every single day. And this is not just here in the US, this is everywhere. And in order for you to be able to use a certain instrument like a CBDC, you want to have confidence in your government, and most people don't. And it's dwindling away every day, as I said. So I don't believe it's going to be successful. They're going to try everything they possibly can do. And I'm going to do a follow-up video in regards to confidence, so that you understand that everything that you've done in the past is because you had confidence in what you were buying, or whether you were renting, whether you were buying a home, buying a car, changing jobs. You had to have confidence behind the decision to move forward with it. So I'm going to get a little bit more into specific in regards to confidence, because that is the key to just about everything. People don't really think about it in terms of confidence, but I'll explain more and you'll get a good idea of what I'm referring to. So for right now, I hope that you got some value from this video. I hope that you now understand what a CBDC is, the intent as to the reason they're pulling it out now, and what it's going to be able to allow the government to do in terms of control, the restrictions that you may have, and also why I don't believe that it's going to be able to be successful. So if you found value, please like the video, share the video, and I will see you on the next video coming up shortly. Have a great day.